Hey, welcome to another Snap video. Today we're going to talk about some different vocabulary for the different types of blocks, and then we're going to make a kaleidoscope that's going to draw, kind of mirror what you draw on the screen. You'll see when we get to that. I'll try and make this video quick though. Alright, so this is in the Kaleidoscope and Vocabulary activity. If you click on part 1, it will open up a blank snap for you. And we're just going to kind of go through some vocabulary and just going to write it in your own words what each of these things is. Alright, so up here in the top left is the palette. This is where you can find all the blocks, and they are organized by categories. This big area in the middle is the scripting area. So this is where you're going to put all your code. It's also where you can get costumes and sound, but for the most part, the one I care about for today is the scripting area. That's where the code's going to go. The top right, this is the stage. This is where the sprite is. This is where all the action happens. The images are displayed. They're all up here on the stage. This area in the bottom right is the sprite corral. Eventually we're going to have multiple sprites. If you click on here, you'll see there's multiple sprites. You can keep track of them here. You can keep track of the stage. This is just kind of a place where everything is organized. The last couple things. This piece of paper in the top left is the file icon. That's where you can do things like save and open files. This white cloud, make sure you're logged in. If the cloud is not white, it means you're not logged in, and you should. And this has some settings. Alright, so let's talk about different types of blocks. These blocks that are curved on top are called hat blocks. The reason they're called cap or hat blocks is because they start the code. You can't connect anything to the top of them. So if I go here and I try and hook something onto the top of these, nothing will connect. I can hook things after them, and the reason why these are different ways of starting code. So let's say I get when the space key is pressed and I move and I turn and I don't know, say hello for 1 second. Anytime I hit the space key, it will trigger this whole line, this whole script of code. So these are called cap blocks. There's quite a few. These are two of the more common ones. The next type of block are these blocks, these rectangle blocks. They're called command blocks, and they make the sprite do something. So they give the sprite a command. It might be to put the pen down, or to move, or to change the color, or to turn, or these are all command blocks. You can hook things above or below. The order you connect them will be the order that the thing happens. So now I put hello at the top. So now when I run this, it says hello first, and then it moves. These are very common. I'd say most of the blocks are these command blocks. The next type of block are these round blocks. So I'll get the mouse X and the mouse Y from sensing. We'll also take a look at the X position and Y position, maybe direction. So these round blocks, and also some of these under operators, there's some ones that do math. What these do is they keep track of some number. So like on their own, this block doesn't do anything. This says mouse X -674. This one says X position is 19.65. They don't do anything on their own, like nothing in the stage or the sprite will change, but they do keep track of information. So this one, for example, right now I'm on this gray sprite. It is at 19 on the X. If I move it further to the right and I click on it, now it's at 154. So what this is keeping track of is just the X value of the sprite. This one is keeping track of the X value of the mouse. So -600 is very far to the left because that's where my mouse is. It's much farther to the left of the stage. The direction is the direction the sprite is pointing. So it's 60 is kind of up and to the right. These reporter blocks do nothing on their own, but you can put them inside other blocks. And use them, and you'll see why in the Kaleidoscope project in just a minute. I just want to show you real quick these operation blocks. These will also do things for you, like add or subtract or multiply, but they're only going to give you the number here. It's not going to make the sprite do anything until you incorporate it into another block. So let's say I do say 4 + 3. This block will do that operation, and so when I click it, it's not going to say 4 + 3. It's going to say the answer to that, which is 7. So you'll see it'll say 7. So these round blocks are all reporter blocks. They don't do anything, but they keep information so that you can use in other blocks. And the last type of block for today are called C blocks, and repeat and forever are going to be the main ones. What happens is when you put things inside of these blocks, what will happen, let me move over right these reporter blocks so they don't get in the way. when you put things inside these blocks, whatever's inside of them will continue. This one will repeat 10 times, and you can change this number. Say I want to do it 5 times. So now when I run this code, it's going to say hello once, but then it's going to move forward and turn a little bit 5 times. If I want to, I can increase this number to 30, and I can increase the number of this to 12, and then I'll make kind of a little shape. Whatever you put inside the C block, only the thing in the inside will be repeated. Okay, so with the C block, you can put things inside of it, and they'll follow the rule. There's some more complicated one that we'll get to eventually, like ifs and repeat untils. For now, repeat and forever are the main 2 C blocks you'll need. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to make a very quick kaleidoscope. So just follow along, and you're going to want to make this exact same one. This one is not a demo. You're going to make this exact one. You can add to it if you want, but I'm just kind of follow along. So let me just clear off all of my blocks. And I'm going to have it start when I click the green flag. And what it's going to do is I'm going to get rid of this sprite for just a minute, just so we have only one for now, so it doesn't get confusing. I'm going to get a clear block as well. So all I have right now is one sprite, and when I click this, it's going to clear the screen. All right, what I want this block to do is whenever I click this green flag, I want the sprite to follow the mouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a go to 0, 0, but instead of it going to 0, 0, which is the center of the screen, I want it to go to wherever the mouse is. So under sensing, which is the bright blue one, I want to get a mouse X and a mouse Y. Now we got to make sure we put them in the right order. So I want the mouse X to be where the sprite goes to the X, and the mouse Y where the sprite goes to the Y. And actually I'm going to change this from a green flag to a space key. And I think you'll see why in 1 second. Now, when I hit the space key, the sprite will move. Every time I hit the space key, the sprite will move to wherever the mouse is. So I put the mouse over here, I hit the space key, and the sprite goes to the mouse. So it's following it. Now, it's only following it when I hit the space key. So what I want it to do is I always want it to follow it. So I'm going to go to my control, get a forever block, put this inside, and now when I hit the space key, you'll see it draws. So I'm not holding the mouse down, I'm not holding the space key down, I'm just moving the mouse, and it's following it, it's kind of drawing it. All right, now the only issue with the forever block is it doesn't stop until I tell it to. So on this top right, where this like red stop sign is, I'm going to click it, and you can see the code stopped highlighting, just so I can stop it and add some more code. Now I am going to add 2 other blocks just to make it look a little bit nicer. I'm going to add a pen color, and I'm going to change the pen size. So I'm going to set the pen size to, let's make it 3, and I'm going to choose like a nice bright green. All right, I'm going to go back over here and try it out. Hit the space key, and it drags, it draws, perfect. All right, this is exactly what I want for now. All right, now what I want to happen is I want there to be 4 other sprites, and I'll show you on this demo. I want four sprites total, so 3 other ones, and they're a kind of mirrored image of this. So what I need to do is I need to add 4 sprites and have them change so that each of them is a mirror image. So one is going to be horizontal, one's going to be vertical, and one's going to be kind of diagonal. And I will show you how to do that right now. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. Well, we're going to make a new sprite first. I'm going to click down here, I'm going to add a new sprite. This sprite has no code. If I want us to go back to the original sprite, I click back here. I'm going to duplicate this code. So what I'm going to do is right click, or if you don't have a right click, control click until I find duplicate. I'm going to click duplicate. It's going to create a new section of this code, and I'm going to drag it, and I'm going to hover over the new sprite, and I'm going to drop it there. And it doesn't look like it did anything, but when I go to the new sprite, you'll see the exact same code. Now, when I run this, you're not going to see anything. So if I go here, you still only see 1 sprite. And the reason why is that they're exactly on top of each other. So I have 1 sprite, and let's say it's up here at, I don't know, let's give it a coordinate of, I don't know, 10, 3. So if I have 1 sprite at 10, 3, don't worry about the graph paper, just to show you a quick demonstration. If I wanted to reflect left to right, I want it to be over here. So the y value is going to be negative, and the x value is going to be negative, and the y value is going to stay positive. So the one reflection is going to be negative 10, 3. So that'll reflect it left to right. If I want to reflect this red dot vertically, so up and down, then I want the x value to change, to stay the same, and the y value to change. I'll show you all of this in a code in just a second. And I want the y to be negative, so it's going to be negative 3. And if I want both of them, I want to reflect left and right and up and down, then I'm just going to make both of these negative. So it's going to go negative 10, negative 3. And now you can see I have all 4 of these points. And that's what we need our sprite to do. And if we move one, we need all the other 3 to move. But we want one to have a negative x, one to have a negative y, and one of them to have them both negative. So that's what we're going to do now. The first one we're going to do, so I have my original sprite, so that's sprite 1. Sprite 2 is going to be the one we want to go left to right. So instead of having mouse x, I'm going to take out the mouse x. I'm going to go to operators. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply mouse x. So I'm going to put the mouse x in the green multiplication block. And then I'm going to multiply times negative 1. And what that's going to do is make this, whatever the x was, is now it's going to be negative. So it's going to flip it left to right. And I'm going to change the color of this to red just so we can kind of tell the difference. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and drop my mouse. Now, the original sprite that's in green is following the mouse. The one in red is not following the mouse. It's going to be across from the mouse. But it's always going to be kind of like if I move it, the red one moves as well, but it's always going to be opposite left to right. All right, now, and you can notice that this one, I had the pen down from something else, so let's just add a pen down to this block. The red one was not drawing, so we need to add a pen down to that one as well. And now, when we come over and hit space, now they both draw, which is what we're trying to get, and they're like a mirror. All right, so let's stop that. I'm going to add 2 more sprites. Okay, so I have my first one, which is regular x and y. The second one, which is negative x. I'm going to duplicate this code, so right-click, duplicate. I'm going to put it into sprite 3. Go to sprite 3, and what I'm going to do is instead of making the x negative, I'm going to make the y negative, so mouse y times negative 1. Try it out. So I'm going to go over here, click y, and now we can see that we have these 3 moving. One is reflection left and right, and one is a reflection up and down. Let's give this third one a new color. So I have a red and a green. Maybe I'll do maybe this nice purple. Let's stop it, and let's try it. All right, so we have 3, and we just need 1 more. So I'm going to stop that. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to add it to sprite 4. So now sprite 4 has the same code. I'm going to pick a new color for it. Maybe I'll pick this like kind of sky blue. Now for this last sprite, we need the mouse y and the mouse x to be negative. So I'm going to get 2 multiplications and multiply both x and y times negative 1. Put that in there. And now when I come over here and I hit the space bar, they're all drawing and they're all mirrored, and you can do some pretty cool designs with it pretty quickly and kind of make it look a little bit like a kaleidoscope, if you've ever seen one of those things before. So that is the goal for this project. Now you are going to need to save and submit it. So this is exactly what you need. You don't have to add anything else to this, but we do want to save it. So you're going to go to File, Save As. Let's call it Kaleidoscope. Let's see if I can spell that. Kaleidoscope, something like that. It doesn't matter too much. You're going to save it. Now, it is not shared yet. Notice my link is still very short. To share it, I need to go back. I need to go to Open. I need to find Kaleidoscope. I need to click Share. It's going to ask me, are you sure you want to share? I hit Yes. Now you will see that my code, my link is much longer. This is what I want to save and share. This is the whole link. Make sure you have all of it. Make sure you test it out. This is what I'm sharing in my project, and that's what you're submitting. So you're going to go copy and paste that into the Google Classroom, find the assignment, and you're going to paste it like right in here. Okay, and that's it for this video. Good luck with it.